Fuck it, let's talk about it. Now, T Grizzly from Detroit. A lot of people who don't listen to, modern day hip hop, which I completely understand, depending on your age or your taste of flavor. Are like, who the hell is this dude? I never heard of him before. Well, T Grizzly, to me, should have been Rookie of the Year last year. His first single was First Day Out. He did No Effort. He did Colors. He did From the A to the D. Um, Detroit born and raised. He's on Atlantic Records under 300. He's association, but you could look that up on Wikipedia or whatever. But dude is dope. I wouldn't consider him the modern type of mumble rapper, mumble young man, mumble. That's not his thing. The dude can actually rap. I don't listen to mumble rap, so I wouldn't steer you wrong. But T Grizzy, for marketing purposes, decided to take a swipe at Eminem. Now, I don't think he has a real issue with him because there's been interviews where he's actually said that he respects Eminem and he want to meet him one day. But like I say, there's always been a disconnect between black people and Eminem and hip hop, especially in Detroit, where a lot of niggas in Detroit just don't really, they respect him and his legacy, but they don't really look at him like he's one of them. They don't look at him like he's one of their own. And they feel a certain kind of way when people from outside the city be like, yo, Eminem run Detroit. And they be like, well, he's not really even really from here like that. He's from the outskirts. But so, and long story short, T Grizzly dropped a new album this week. And it came out the same time a lot of other albums came out from a lot of other artists that were popular than him. Tiger, he dropped a dope album. Future, these are big artists with big fucking brands and fan bases, and T Grizzly being a new artist still, he has to compete with these guys. So what other better way to stand out? And his album is dope, but what better way to stand out than to take a swipe at a legend? And that's what he did on this song No Talking, off of his new album called Scriptures. Like I said, Scriptures is pretty good. And he basically goes at it and he's like, inventor and the license plate Michigan. Had to quit fucking with dog. He feminine. I run Detroit. Niggas talking about Eminem. Talking that shit. I kill you, him and him. I made a M, then I made a M. Slow down. Check that score, nigga. Blow out. You gotta listen to it. That's the bars. So I don't really think it's deep, but he's just saying, yo, had to quit fucking with dog. He feminine. I run Detroit. Niggas talking about Eminem. So he's basically like, yo, I run Detroit. Like he's the new nigga. Move the fuck away. I run this shit now. But I always thought it was kind of silly and it's an egotistical thing. But it's kind of like what Jay was saying a few years ago. We got to really do what Nipsey was doing. Actually, and if you want to really say you run something or you own something, take up some real estate courses. Start investing in the property. Because it's always, everybody think they run their neighborhood when you really don't. I run this block. I own this block. Is the block named after you? Last I checked, it wasn't. Now if you want to get the block named after you, there's ways you can do that. Everybody claim they run their city, don't own any property, don't own a building, a skyscraper, a park, a gym, nothing. We got to start actually really taking property and investment seriously, because a lot of niggas think they run this, they run that, but you really don't. I know a lot of niggas that used to run their block, now they locked up. They didn't run shit. You know what I'm saying? That block been there since before they was even in diapers. Because the only reason you're from where you're from is because of your parents. Your parents moved there or was born and raised there, and you just happen to, be a part of that. No one came out and said, I want to be from Detroit. I want to be from Chicago. I want to be from, it don't work like that. I didn't have a choice to be a New York native. My grandparents were from the South. They moved to New York, had their kids, and it went from there. But I'm not running around here claiming I run the city. Shit, there's no black people don't own any skyscrapers in New York, man. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, we got to start taking property and all that serious. That's what Nipsey was doing. But yeah, this isn't a big deal. I was gonna title it T Grizzly versus Eminem when I first heard about it, but when I listened to it, I'm like, nah, that's clickbait, and I don't do that shit. I don't do clickbait for views. This isn't a beef. This is just a young artist capitalizing a moment to try to get a spark. Because compared to last year, he isn't really buzzing as much, and he had to do something to get a buzz. He's a student of the game. This is a student of the game type of move. Let me see if I could get attention by, poking at the beach. I don't think M's gonna respond. M listens to everything, so I guarantee you M definitely knows who Tea Grizzley is, even though his fans might not know. M is a fan. M listens to a lot of mostly everything, rather he likes it or not. But I don't think M's gonna take this personally. You know what I'm saying? M is chilling, doing his thing. This ain't no real big deal. I don't even think it's beef. I think it's just him like, yo, I'm the new nigga, and I'm the face of the city now. I think that's all it really was. But I would recommend listening to this dude's album. I wouldn't take it seriously. Eminem stands are kind of in their feelings right now, but it's nothing big, man. It's just marketing hip-hop, man. This is what hip-hop has come down to. It's a business now, and you got to do what it takes by all means to get yourself hot and get yourself noticed. You know, right now, he's on every blog site that you could name because of this shit right here. He's gotten more attention off of this. Because like I say, I could reel up an article from 2017 where he says, Tea Grizzley, he hopes to work with Eminem some point. This is when he was on Power 106 in LA, I think on Big Boy's Neighborhood, and he basically said he would like to work with Eminem. This was 2 years ago. So, but he says the cosign isn't mandatory because he knows, you know, he was already hot himself. He didn't need Eminem, but he said he would like to work with him. And he says, in quote, I mean, it's good because he's a pioneer from the city, but I wouldn't say it's mandatory. You know, so he believes he's a local legend and all, and he's Detroit's gatekeeper. But in all due respect, he can do this on his own. But he says he definitely would want to sit down with Eminem. So, yeah, this isn't a beef. I just wanted to set this shit straight because a lot of people, you know, trying to jump the gun. And I was like, I'm not even going to clickbait this and call it, you know, beef because y'all a lot of times, I don't know if y'all know the proper definitions, but beef and competition and record sales and publicity are two different fucking things, man. Yeah. So that's what that is, man. Like, share, and subscribe. As always, frankiediamondstv on IG. I put my Twitter in the description too, man. Fuck it.